Fernando, good evening. How are you today?
Hey, how are you?
Very, very well. I want to first of all thank you for your time. Now, I just wanted to start by letting you know that obviously I am recording this, Fernando, and the reason that I'm recording it is that way you don't have to worry too much about either A, taking notes, or B, remembering what was spoken. At the end of the actual webinar, I'm going to email you a link containing a recording of this presentation so that way you can go ahead and review anything you want at any time and do it all at your leisure. Fair enough?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, let me start, Fernando, first of all, by commending you for taking the time to really see where you stand as far as your retirement and your overall financial health stance. I'm only going to take around 15 to 20 minutes of your time. So I know you have a busy night, so I'm not going to take much of it. And all I really want to do tonight, Fernando, is just literally do some fact finding so that I can find needs and also potential solutions to your goals and your dreams and all that other good stuff, and then come back and make a proposal based on what I was able to determine. Fair enough?
Yes. Thank you.
Now, Fernando, if you remember the presentation the other day, we were talking about Jane and we determined her pension amount. And the way we did it is very simple. We determined that Jane wants to retire when she's 60. That's going to give her 29 years of service. We determined that her age factor was 2% at the age of 60 based on the CalSTRS table. And we're going to find out your specific one here in just 1 minute. We then multiply the 29 years of service times the 2% age factor, and that gives us, in this example, a payoff factor of 58%. So what that means is that when she turns 60 and retires, Jane is going to receive 58% of whatever her highest average salary was. Let's just say that's $90,000. So we multiply 90,000 times 58%. That tells us she's going to receive around $52,000 a year for the rest of her life. Now, if we take the 52,000 and divide that by 12, that's around $4,300, $4,350 to be more precise, that she would receive every month for the rest of her life. The question was, is that adequate for today? And in most instances, the answer was no. Well, imagine in 5, 10, or 15 years from now, it might even be less. We also talked about the piece of the pie. Now, this is the most important element, Fernando, because what you see, this triangle or pie represents at the top 100% of your current income. Now, we will determine what your payoff factor is so we can determine how much of that pie you're going to receive. And so in this example, we're talking roughly, let's just say 50%. So that means that CalSTRS or your pension is going to provide you with 50% of what you're receiving today. And so that's good because, first of all, it is taxable, but it does go on for the rest of your life, and you can never outlive your pension. But if you notice, that leaves us with a tremendous income gap of about 50%. And so what we want to do is explore ways for you to make up that gap. Now, you do have a 403B, and I commend you, Fernando, because most teachers don't even have a 403B. So you are going to be able to replace some of your gap or fill in the gap with the 403B. But unfortunately, that too is taxable and decreases over time. Because if you retire with $100,000 in your 403B and you start to take money from it, well, the balance goes down until you no longer have any money, and all you are left with is your actual pension. My goal here, Fernando, is to explore options that can provide you with tax-free lifetime income, just like your pension, but except this one would be tax-free, that can help fill in part or most of the gap. Then at that point, you can use your 403B to make up a much smaller gap, which means you would be making that money last a long time. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do at this point, Fernando, I'm just going to go ahead and ask you some very basic questions to better serve you. First of all, what exactly is your date of birth, please, if you don't mind?
1388.
Got it. And obviously, you're part of CalSTRS. And how many years of service do you have right now?
Just 3.
Got it. Okay, that's good. 3. And at what age are you looking to retire?
60.
Perfect. And Fernando, what about that presentation you saw the other day intrigued you to the point that brings me here today? What intrigued you the most?
Well, I need that tax-free income.
I think you're on the right track there, my friend. Okay. And what are you doing to prepare for your retirement outside of your CalSTRS pension?
Well, I got a 403B.
Okay. So you have a 403B. That's right. And about how much do you have in it right now?
Not that much, about 6,000 or so.
Okay, so you just kind of started it. And who do you have that with?
I think it's North American.
Yes, yeah, they're a good company, North American. Okay, great. And do you have any other savings, a college fund, emergency fund, a checking account? Do you have any other money stashed anywhere?
Around 10,000 in a savings account.
Perfect. That's really good considering you obviously just started your career. That's good. Okay.
Okay.
And are you married, Fernando?
Yes,
Perfect. And do you have any children?
I do. Two.
Two kids. Okay. And how old are they?
3-year-old and 5-year-old.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're really, really small. Okay. Well, I think that having three myself can tell you that that's the perfect age for you to plan for your and their futures as well. So you have time on your side, Fernando, and congratulations on your beautiful family. Okay. Now, do you have any life insurance right now, Fernando?
I mean, the district gives me a little bit.
If you have the standard one, the district gives you, I think it's 50,000. So,
Yeah.
okay. And that is what's considered term life insurance that only lasts as long as you're employed with the district. So if you retire, quit, or move on to something else, it stays behind. And that could be a little risky because if that any of those things ever happen, and something will happen eventually, then the peace of mind you have right now is gonna go away.
Wow.
All right. Now, let me just tell you this: that as a rule of thumb, with regards to life insurance, you really should have at least 10 times your annual salary. So if you earn, let's just say 50,000, then you should have around $500,000 of life insurance. That way, if God forbid something were to happen to you, there's 50,000 a year not coming into your household to provide for your family's needs. It will more than likely take several years for your family to adjust financially, and that's 500,000 that would definitely help keep a roof over their heads and could even help pay for your children's education. Does that make sense?
It does.
Perfect. And then lastly here, Fernando, what amount do you think or what do you feel comfortable with saving on a monthly basis to make your financial goals a reality, whether it's a combination of supplementing that retirement, tax-free income, college fund for your kids and stuff like that? What do you feel comfortable with?
Well, with everything costs so much, I would say about 300 a month, maybe.
Perfect. That's a good amount. Okay, so $300. Got it. $300 a month. Great. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a look at your CalSTRS and do the calculations that I was referring to earlier. Okay. And if you could do me a huge favor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on the screen what is referred to. Let me just go back over here. Some areas of concern. And if you notice, they all have a number to the left right there. And so what I would like for you to do is take a look at these areas of concern that our clients have expressed over the years. Some may and some may not apply to you. So please check off maybe just 3 or 4 of the top concerns or write down the number and I'll write them on my sheet in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and do the calculation for your CalSTRS and I'll be right back. So bear with me, okay?
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and read it carefully, please. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, Fernando, I am ready to go. Are you ready to go, sir?
Yes, I am.
One more time. Okay, perfect. Which is the first one? What number is the one that you feel applies to you?
Well, number one's really important.
Well, number one, I am concerned that my family won't be able to maintain their lifestyle in the event of a passing. I think that's especially true considering you have a wife and 2 very young children. Perfect. What's the second one?
And number 5, my savings just
that my retirement savings plan won't meet my retirement income needs. And okay, right. Perfect. Number 5. And what's the third?
Well, number 8, I am concerned about the loss of my group life insurance.
And that's a big one. Okay, go ahead and put number 8. Got it. Well, I have an answer for you so far as it relates to your payoff factor. And let me show you, let me go ahead and bring this up so you can see this for yourself as well. So as you see here, one of the things that you'll notice, because you have 3 years of service, that means you were hired after January 1st. As you can look at the upper right hand or the green column, you were hired after January 1st of 2013, you fall into the new CalSTRS payoff factor, which or H factor, which simply means you get a little bit, or actually quite a bit less than people that got hired before you. And so what does that mean? If you follow the 60, the age 60, which is when you want to retire, and what I'm going to do to make it even easier on you to make sure that we are on the same sheet of music, if you look at this part right here at age 60, do you see the 60 right here by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, if we follow this all the way to the right, this gives us a H factor of 1.76. So what does that mean? Well, that means that it's very simple. Just like with the Jane example, we take the 1.76, we multiply that times your years of service, and that tells us that when you retire, your actual payoff factor is 47.56%. So that means you will get 47.56% of your highest year. Now, to make it simpler, let's just call it 50%. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let me clear this out so you can go ahead and go to the next one and show you where I'm going with this next. So let me go ahead and continue here. Now, this is you, Fernando, and this is very, very important. So please, again, this is being recorded so that you can review it at a later time. And I need you to, pay some really good attention, because here we go. Now, we determined that you have a 50%, and I'm going a little higher, a 47.56 payoff factor. So that means that you're going to get around this much of what I just showed you. Now, I want this to be showing even better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it again in red. Now, that's good, because this, if you remember, represents your actual pension. CalSTRS will pay you roughly half of what you're receiving today. Downside, it is taxable, but let me tell you, I would much rather have a taxable pension than no pension at all. So I commend you on that. However, this right here is the concern. This is a tremendous gap, income gap you're going to experience. Now, the good news is that you are currently saving with a 403b. So you will have your pension down here with about 50%. Your 403b will probably provide you, give or take, around that much. And my goal is going to be to find a solution, Fernando, that works with your budget to make up that shortage or minimize that shortage with a stream of tax-free lifetime income to give you the retirement that you and your family deserves. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Now, I'm not going to be able to do it here on the spot with you, because I do have to make some other computations. But what I can do is I do have tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday available to get back with you via Zoom and present to you my findings, and then we can take it from there with absolutely no obligation to do anything, Fernando. Now, does Thursday or Friday work better for you?
Friday's a little better for me.
Around what time?
About 7:30.
Let's call it 7:30. So that way, in case you got something going on with the family, you come home, get settled in, and so on. So Friday, 7:30. So I will send you, you will receive an automated text reminder. And just so you know, whenever you meet with me, it's always webinarlink.us. So you don't have to search emails and this for the link. And I'll text it to you, webinarlink.us. And I look forward to working hard to putting together a comprehensive plan that addresses your areas of concern and your retirement needs, and do it all within your budget. Fair enough?
Yes, thank you so much.
Perfect. All right, Fernando, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you Friday at 7:30. Until then, you have a wonderful night, sir, and a great day tomorrow, okay? Thank you. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come over here and put it back up. I know you can't see it. So, so there we go. And so I'm going to go back over here, and bam, 14:28, okay? And so 14 minutes and 28, or whatever. And that's what I'm talking about. Now, realistically, what I would expect to most of you do, realistically, take it at 20. And what's going to take you the longest is going to be the worksheet. That is going to take the longest because you have to get it right. And that's why we always use standardized questions or scenarios or examples of teachers, because we want the answers to be exactly right. It's not that hard, guys. I mean, think about it. It's just, we just need to know how many years of service, multiply it times what percentage. That's going to give us I mean, Jesus, your phone's going to do the math. You know, we're not asking you to do the math, but if you notice, I told them that it was being recorded. I went ahead and reassured them by doing that. I explained the process. I commended them. It's all in the whole thing. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that, because my goal is, once you are ready, you're going to do a mock audition with me, but I can't sign you off on the full. I can't sign you off on the full audition. Only George Munoz is going to be able to do that. And he's really, I mean, he's very good at this. The guy, I mean, anyways, I'm not going to get into it. As you'll notice, and I'm not going to get into it, but our company does, like most other LMOs, MGAs, they have a annual trip. You know, we usually take at least 12 to 13 members of my team every year, you know, just from schools, just every year. I mean, we don't even try to win. We're not there for that. We're here for the money. But I'll take it. You know, this next year we're going to be in the at the whatever, all inclusive. I mean, we've been to Europe. They've taken us to Alaska. They've taken us to Mexico. They've taken it. It's just free. Take it. And so that's why I want you guys to make some serious money, so that at least, you know, once a year, whether you travel a lot on your own or not, you're going somewhere every year, just as a way of recharging your battery for all that you do. I love to travel, but I love to travel more when it's free. All right. And that's what I'm saying. So best of luck, everybody. Thank you. Let's get you certified to become a closer. Practice. And when you guys are ready to practice with me, role play, let me know. We'll schedule a private webinar, just you and I, and we'll talk. And then we'll say, okay, ready and action. And then I'm just going to be Javier, the teacher, and your job, do what I did. You'll have this recording of the shortened version tonight. I promise you. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Have a good night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.